Calling all parents and teachers, it's time to rep KidNuz and check out some partner brands and products we think you're going to love. Since it's an election year, how about a kid's book on voting? Or colorful ideas for a spring refresh of that messy homework desk? Plus, there's always fun KidNuz swag. Moms, dads, guardians, and teachers, go to starglowmedia.com/shop to check it all out. If you're listening on a podcast platform, you can also find the store link in the description for today's episode. And don't forget, subscribe to Starglow Plus to skip the ads on all your favorite Starglow podcasts. Happy listening! Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. And we begin with a judge handing down a decision on the long-standing debate, is a taco a sandwich? The case started 4 years ago when the owner of Famous Taco wanted to set up shop in a strip mall in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But only eateries that sold made-to-order or sub-style sandwiches were allowed in that location. After years of legal wrangling, last week a judge ruled that tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches, and the original written commitment does not restrict potential restaurants to only the American variety. That ruling means Merriam-Webster may have to update its definition of a sandwich, which currently reads 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between. Simone Biles is back. The gymnast kicked off her season with a remarkable performance, not just winning the Core Hydration Classic in Hartford, Connecticut this weekend, but also scoring a gold medal on floor and silver medals in the uneven bars and balance beam. The 27-year-old took a break from the sport after the Tokyo Olympics to focus on her mental health, but she's on track for the Paris Olympics this summer. She's planning to compete in the U.S. Championships in Fort Worth, Texas next week, and the U.S. Olympic Trials in Minneapolis in late June. A couple cool discoveries in space. First, international scientists are scratching their heads over a newly found faraway planet that's bigger than Jupiter, but also incredibly light because it's made mainly of air. In fact, it's so fluffy that researchers are comparing its composition to cotton candy. Also, about 1,000 light years away from Earth, astronomers have discovered what they believe is the biggest known batch of planet-making ingredients in the cosmos. The mix of gas and dust swirling around a young star looks a lot like a butterfly, with a dark, dusty strip in the middle and blue and white lobes for the wings. One scientist noted that with this massive collection of building blocks for planets, they can learn more about the birth and evolution of worlds beyond our own. Working on a groundbreaking project in biomedicine isn't something normally connected with a high school student, but 16-year-old Grace Sun of Lexington, Kentucky is doing just that. The teen's research is focused on improving medical implants in the human body by making them softer and more flexible as an alternative to the traditional silicone-based devices. Her work earned her the top prize of $75,000 at the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair in LA, which is considered to be the Olympics of science fairs. Grace told Business Insider backstage that when her name was announced, initially she thought they got the wrong person. I was like, is there another Grace up here? As for her future plans, she sees herself working in chemical engineering to help improve medicine. There's a new clue in an age-old mystery. For centuries, many have wondered how the massive Egyptian pyramids were built in a remote desert. How did ancient people move huge limestone blocks weighing on average 2.5 tons hundreds of miles without using wheels or animals? New research published last week in the journal Communications, Earth and Environment offers a possible answer. There's now evidence that the Nile River once flowed through that region, which would have made it easy to transport the blocks on a boat. The research team used data from satellites to look below the Earth's surface and found traces of an ancient waterway that has since dried up. They looked at 31 different pyramids, including the most famous group in Giza, which served as tombs for Egyptian royals and were built about 4,000 years ago. Coming up, why a pineapple has a price tag of $400. But first, our KidNuz quiz. What was the decision a judge in Indiana made involving a Mexican restaurant? that a taco could be considered a sandwich? How many medals did Simone Biles win at a competition last weekend? 3, 1 gold and 2 silver. Scientists discovered an enormous fluffy planet that is made mostly of what? Air. A teenager won top prize at the Olympics of Science fairs for what? Research on flexible medical implants. In our KidNuz Kicker, pineapples are certainly delicious and healthy, but why would anyone pay $400 for one? That's how much Melissa's Produce, a California-based seller of specialty fruit and veggies, is charging for the Ruby Glow pineapple. Well, $395.99 to be exact. This fruit is different from your average $5 grocery store kind because it has a distinctive red exterior with a special sweet taste, and it took wholesaler Del Monte 15 years to develop it. So, how are sales? Not great, according to Melissa's public relations director, who tells CNN they've sold about 2 dozen in a month, mostly to restaurants in LA and Las Vegas to use in their displays of fresh fruit. Before we go, a big KidNuz shout out to some of our terrific teachers, Mr. O and his Royals at Upper Darby in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, Miss Amberg and her Panthers at 5 Points in Springboro, Ohio, and Mrs. Gregg and her Wildcats at Warren Hills in Liberty, Missouri. Thanks for listening. If you'd like a personalized shout out for a birthday, graduation, or to say thanks for a great school year, how about sponsoring our popular quiz to help make someone's day and support your favorite news podcast for kids? For more information, go to our website, kidnuz.org. We hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.